Allemaal, and welcome to this week's episode of TulipTV. This week we do a talk show, and we're here today with Constable Harley Dvorkin. Hi Harley, thanks for being on TulipTV. And he's here with his working dog, Cole.
Cole.
Can you say hi, Cole?
Cole, buddy, pause up. There we go. Hey, buddy.
Welcome to TulipTV. You're a good boy. Anyway, we've shot a little clip about the working dogs here at the Vancouver Police Department Dog Squad. And I think we should have a look at that first, and then we can talk a bit about that.
Absolutely. So this is our Vancouver Police Dog Squad facility, and the first thing I'd like to show you is our Vancouver Police Dog Squad memorial plaque. What it has on here is the names of every past serving police dog that served the city of Vancouver. Once the dog passes away, their badge number and name get engraved on this plaque to be remembered for their years of service. And in the middle of the plaque we have a poem that dog handlers use, kind of explains how we feel about the work that the police dogs do and what they mean to us. And it's kind of our motto, and it's called Guardians of the Night, which is a slogan that a lot of dog handlers adhere to. Down in this section here, we have, this is more the area of the facility dedicated to the dogs themselves. In here we have this pinball looking machine is actually a dog wash, complete with a hair dryer. We have more storage rooms here. This area here is, we have an indoor and outdoor kennel facility. We have 20 kennels here to serve the dogs. Both in-service dogs and past retired dogs come here to stay when their handlers go on vacation, when they need to stay overnight for any reasons, they can come here. The kennels themselves, what we call, they're called a 40-60 indoor-outdoor split. So the kennel, 40% of the kennel is indoors, and the other 60% actually goes to an outdoor facility. Outside in the back we have 2 runs for our dogs. Right here we have Sabre. Sabre's actually visiting us from the Port Moody Police Department. He's a serving Port Moody police dog. It's a very social dog. The runs are covered, they have dog houses, and it just gives the dogs a place to come outside, get a little exercise when they're staying with us. Here we have our outdoor training field where we have the agility course, which is currently pushed off to the side, but we can set up the different obstacles for the training of the dogs. We have various jumps, ramps, apex machines, and a tunnel for the dogs, just to socialize them with the different types of obstacles and environments that they'll experience when they're out working on the streets. This just gets them comfortable with jumping through windows, on small ledges, over fences, climbing up different obstacles that they may have to while they're working. And the final portion of our tour is this monument here. This is a monument to all the police dogs that have served the city of Vancouver that have actually died in the line of duty. To date, since 1957, we have had 8 dogs die in the line of duty. The most recent one passed away in 2006 while pursuing a car thief. That was police dog Nitro, and he was tragically struck down by a train while pursuing a car thief. This honors them, and they'll always be remembered for the service that they gave. So this is Constable Richard Wong and his dog, Knight. And Knight is just about 9 years old. He's a senior dog in the section. And Richard's just demonstrating some basic obedience that we do with our dogs. You can see that Constable Wong's now doing some off-leash obedience, which is part of our certification standards. All our obedience has to be done offline. We don't use any sort of training aids when we do it. That means no pinch collars or electric collars or anything like that. Everything is done with positive reinforcement, praise. I think Constable Wong's going to bring Knight over a couple of the obstacles. And these just simulate the environments that the dogs may encounter while they're working out on the street. Fences, windows, small landings, railings, that sort of thing. This obstacle simulates a window. Sometimes our dogs will have to enter a building through a window. This is what it's all about for the dogs, is the play and reward at the end of the task that we've asked them to do. In this case, it's just a tug toy, so he'll play tug of war with Richard.
This program is sponsored by Dutch, the full-color English language magazine about the Netherlands and its people, at home and abroad. Canada to Leave is the online community for the Dutch living in Canada and the Canadians living in the Netherlands. Canada to Leave, wherever you live.
Well, that was very interesting, very entertaining. One of the questions I have looking at that, I noticed you don't reward the dogs with food at all, like people probably who have dogs at home would do if they do tricks or work for them. You never do that?
Not to say we never do that. When they're learning, when they're puppies and we're training them, especially with training them how to track, we'll actually start with food rewards. And you can imagine what we're trying to do is we're trying to have the dog associate putting its nose down close to the ground, smelling the human scent that's there, and then being instantly rewarded with food. So the dog's like, hey, I want to do this.
Right.
I want to keep doing this. And because there's food along the way, the dog will follow the scent and look for the reward as it goes and eat and get the reward. As the dog learns how to track, we remove the food portion,
Right.
and the reward is the finding the person at the end of the track.
And how long do you train the dog before they're actually graduated or they get a certificate? Not sure what you do, but
How it works with Vancouver is we take puppies in as young as 8 weeks old, and we foster them out with prospective handlers who then begin basically training with that dog. Most of the training at such a young age is all around socialization. We want to expose the puppy to as many different environments as possible, especially slippery floors, escalators, elevators, gymnasium floors, anything that the dog's going to experience later in life. We want to get that socialization. When the dog has gone through a series of tests, we want to make sure that it's medically sound to have a long working life. It's met the initial criteria of certain things that we look for in the dog. Then we'll begin the formal process, and that is about a 14 to 16 week formal training process, and the dog's usually about 1.5 years to 2 years old at that point. And once the dog and the handler complete that, once the team completes that process and meets all the BC certification standards, then they're ready to begin their street work as a dog team.
great. Do they get paid?
The dog gets paid with love.
I see. Well, that's good. That's good. Excellent. What do you guys feed your dogs?
I'd say about a 50-50 split of the handlers here in Vancouver feed their dog raw versus dry food. I personally feed my dog Cole's on raw, and I have also personal pets that are on raw, and I'm a big proponent of raw food. But it's basically up to the handler, his or her decision on what type of food to feed the dog.
Now, Cole goes home with you, or does he sleep here in the kennels that we saw in the clip?
No,
Or?
Cole lives with me. He's part of my family. I have other dogs at home, and he's just a family dog at home. He has his own kennel at home. It's about 14 feet long, 7 feet wide. He's got a dog house, dog beds. My wife spoils him. He comes in the house when he wants to. Cole, his personality is that he likes to stay outside. He enjoys it. He very much enjoys his space. But when he wants to come in, he'll come in and hang out with the family, and he's very much part of it.
So he watches TV and that kind of stuff?
He has been known to get up on the couch and seen the odd TV show, yes.
How does he know the difference from when he's working and when he's allowed to relax and play? Like, is there a sign you give him, or is it something you do with him?
With dog training, it's all about repetition and association. And there's lots of key factors with Cole, especially that I've noticed that he knows it's time to work. One of them is this uniform. If he sees me in this uniform, you can see the light switch go on in him. Right. I've come home been at home in my uniform, and that puts him off. And you can see that he gets all excited, and he's like, "Are we going to work? Let's go to work." Our work truck, the police lights, the siren, the sounds of the radio are all key factors with Cole, especially, that it's time to work.
Right.
He knows coming to this building, it's time to work. And he knows at home, it's time to relax.
Looks pretty relaxed right now.
Yeah, he does actually. He's very relaxed in here. But if we brought him out to the truck, or if I had someone walk by or anything like that, Cole would be he'd be alert and see what's going on. Cole's actually, he's got a fantastic disposition. I couldn't have asked for a better partner than Cole. And this is one of the greatest things about him, is that he can come into a social setting like this, a casual conversation, and he can relax. And I really enjoy that about him, because I can take him anywhere and he can fit in anywhere. But when it's time to go, it's time to go.
This program is sponsored by Dutch, the full-color English language magazine about the Netherlands and its people, at home and abroad.
Now, Cole looks a little bit like a Dutch Shepherd, but he's probably not.
He's a German Shepherd.
He is.
I've had a lot of
All right.
people, he's a very tall, lean
Right.
German Shepherd, and I've had a lot of people ask me if he's a Dutch Shepherd. He's not. We don't, in our department right now, we don't use anything other than German Shepherds.
Why is that?
Historically speaking, the German Shepherd breed has been selected by police departments as the overall best breed for the job. We like the size of the dog. We like the loyalty factors, the genetic dispositions. They're very agile. They're great trackers with the long nose and a lot of receptors in their nose. Overall, they just have all the dispositions that we're looking for in a police dog.
I was talking to a Dutch constable. Well, actually, he's not a constable. He's a master trainer. His name is Koen Schellekens from Lelystad. And I spoke to him out on the phone last week. And he trains police dogs for actually worldwide. And his particular company is quite known for training dogs. And he said they work a lot with the Dutch Shepherd and that they actually export them to Canada. Now, when I asked him, do you give dogs to the Vancouver Police or the Calgary Police? And he said, no, we actually do only the RCMP and the border crossing people. So my question to you is, how come the Vancouver Police does their own training versus obviously RCMP and border police use already trained dogs that perhaps come from Holland or other places?
We use breeders that we have relationships with, that dogs we know where the bloodlines are from. They're genetically, they're predisposed. Their disposition is bred for police work, and then we like to, train our dogs right from the puppy stage, and we do our training in-house. We have two trainers that are senior constables in this section that take care of the training. It's just basically the development of our section is that we're very satisfied in our ability to train the police dogs, and it works very well for us. I know the RCMP, I can't speak for the RCMP, I'm not an RCMP officer, but I do know that they have their own breeding program as well, and they have their own centralized training facility in Innisfail, Alberta. Okay. So they do a lot of their own training as well. They might import dogs
That's what I understood.
for the bloodlines and the genetics, which we have done in the past as well. We have dogs that we're not set on any one particular breeder. We have in the past taken dogs like Richard Wong's dog is from Czechoslovakia. We have a history of taking dogs from other countries that have been bred for this type of work. Yeah. But the training, we some have a basic obedience, Schutzen backgrounds, that sort of thing, right, which we then expand upon in the specific work that we do as police officers. And then we have to make sure that they certify and validate to the BC standards of police dogs.
When I spoke to Koen in Holland, he was telling me about different training techniques. He mentioned the bark and hold and bite and hold. What kind of training do you use? Is it? I understand you call it something else here.
We use what we call a handler control deployment strategy.
Right.
So in essence, the dog is deployed and utilized at the discretion of the handler. So when there's certain factors as police officers criteria that must be met before Cole can come out of the truck and do his job. And one of them specifically is that the suspect has to be arrestable,
right,
under the Criminal Code of Canada. And from there, if the suspect has chosen to run away or whatnot, we'll use Cole as a location tool.
Right.
And then any sort of engagement on that suspect is up to me as the handler,
right,
and we don't leave that decision making to the dog.
Excellent. Talking about dogs working, they get hurt sometimes. Now we saw the plaque in our intro, which is very nice, the poem on there. How many dogs have passed away since you started here?
None. Since I've been in the
Right.
section, we've had no dogs pass away in the line of duty.
Right.
In the history of the Vancouver Police Dog Squad since 1957, we have lost 8 dogs in the line of duty. They are, we recognize them on the plaque or on the monument that we saw outside.
It's beautiful. It's very nice.
It's very nice. It's a fitting tribute to them for their service. Sadly, most of our dogs that have been killed in the line of duty have been hit by cars,
right,
and in the last, in 2006, was hit by a train.
Oh, how sad. Now, when a dog dies on duty, do they get an official funeral, just like a constable or sergeant?
In 2006, PSD Nitro was given a full official funeral.
Very nice.
I attended. It was a big turnout. Lots of dog handlers from all over the Pacific Northwest were here, from the States, from Eastern Canada as well, turned up, along with members of the police department. It was a big showing and a very fitting tribute.
This program is sponsored by Dutch, the full-color English language magazine about the Netherlands and its people, at home and abroad. Canada to Leave is the online community for the Dutch living in Canada and the Canadians living in the Netherlands. Canada to Leave, wherever you live.
Now, can we have another look at...
Cole, if we can wake him
here,
up.
can he
Come here, bud.
come and say hello?
Cole,
Now-
pause up. There we go.
Can I pet him?
Absolutely.
Now, when people meet a dog on the street that's working, are they allowed to pet them? Or
When the dog's working, especially when Cole's working, I would say no. I think every handler would say no. When I there's a difference between on duty and working.
Right.
When I say Cole is working, he's probably actively looking for a suspect. He might be tracking. He might be doing a building search. These aren't appropriate times to be talking to the handler or the dog. He's doing his job. When Cole and I are out on the street and I'm not actively at a call and I meet citizens who want to meet Cole, absolutely, I've taken Cole out of the truck. Kids can pet him. It's just best to speak to the handler first. Every dog is different. Every person, different ways of dealing with their dogs. Because Cole is so social.
Yeah, he's a big teddy bear.
He is a big teddy bear.
He gave me kisses when we walked in.
I don't have an issue with anybody asking me, and I'm very comfortable with Cole meeting anybody at any time. He's very good that way.
Okay. Now, Teak, he's been in the news quite a bit lately and got injured. We saw him when we came up here in the back of the truck. How's he doing?
Teak's doing very well. He's going to have a full recovery. He's about a week now into retirement. It was very tragic, his incident. It happened basically in the last week. Teak was set to retire as it was. So in a way, as sad and as disturbing as that incident was for Teak, he caught a bad guy on his very last shift. So that's very nice. It's a good way.
What exactly happened to him? Because not all the viewers might know what happened to him.
There was a gas station robbery. A suspect had fled, and Teak and his handler, Derek Gibson, were able to locate the suspect. And Teak the suspect ran from Constable Gibson and was taken into custody by Teak. And in doing so, the suspect unfortunately slashed and stabbed at Teak, causing some pretty significant injuries amongst the neck area.
So normally if a dog gets injured, does he go back to work if he has a full recovery, or is that it? He's had an injury and he doesn't go back to work?
Dogs get injured for all sorts of reasons, just like your pet could get injured. And as it so happens, Cole suffered just a back injury when he was very, very young out on the street, and he required surgery, and he took 6 months of rest and rehabilitation.
Oh, wow.
Like anyone else, he went to a rehab facility and worked on his core and did stretching and ran on a treadmill, and he's been back to work and great ever since. So to answer your question, yes, dogs can recover and go back to work, absolutely.
How can you get a job like this? Do you actually have to first be in the police department and then you can volunteer to become a dog trainer?
You can imagine, first and foremost, you have to be a police officer. With Vancouver, to be a Vancouver police dog handler, you have to be a Vancouver police officer. Because there's only 16 constable positions in a staff of roughly 1,200 officers, it's a pretty unique position and not one that everyone gets, even though they may aspire to get it. I was very fortunate. The criteria is you have to have at least 5 years of experience with the Vancouver Police. You have to meet a minimum standard of a certain number of years as a patrol officer. Then when a position opens up in the dog squad, they'll offer the opportunity for people to apply, and you go through an interview process. And if you're lucky enough, like I was, they'll pair you up with a dog, go through the training, and you get to do what I consider the greatest job in the world.
I was going to say, you're a pretty lucky man.
This program is sponsored by Dutch, the full-color English language magazine about the Netherlands and its people, at home and abroad.
When you guys go out and you have a coffee and have your donuts.
It's bagels in Vancouver.
Bagels, really?
Bagels, yes.
Why? Are we West Coast? We're
West
healthy?
Coast, yeah, we're more
Okay,
healthy.
I see. So does he go for a bagel as well, or does he stay in the truck?
Most of the time he stays in the truck because wherever I go with Cole, he becomes the center of attention.
Right.
And it's just too tough on me.
Right.
So no, when we're working, Cole prefers the truck because for Cole, the truck equals fun.
Right.
And it's it's clear to me, and I think it's clear to anyone who works around dogs, that the things that we ask him to do, it equates to fun for them.
Right.
To Cole, when he's working, he's just playing a game. He doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards anybody. He doesn't have a personal vendetta against anybody. He's just out to have a good time and have fun and play the game that we've taught him how to play. So he loves that truck. He wants to be in that truck more than anything because that means that him and Dad get to go out and have fun.
I'm sure there's a lot of pet owners right now who are listening to this and thinking, can you teach my dog to love the car ride? Because he's vomiting every time we go in it.
It's all about what they do when they're young.
Excellent.
Yes.
That's
Socialize them early.
Right. So we see on TV a lot in the summer warnings from the Vancouver Police Department. Don't leave your dog in the truck. It's hot out there. He's going to get dehydrated. He's going to die. So you just told me he loves the truck.
Yeah. And
what do you guys do?
Our vehicles are specially equipped for the dog. The back seats we have Tahoes, and the back seat of the Tahoe is actually a kennel with air conditioning, and we have an alarm system in our truck. So if our truck overheats for any reason, like the interior temperature goes above a certain degree, I think it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit, an alarm sounds, the truck will automatically start up and the windows will roll down. Generally, we leave our trucks running in the summer with the air conditioning blasting.
Now, when people walk by the truck, is the dog always going to bark, or does it depend?
That's really
on
dog dependent. Cole, some dogs are very possessive of the truck. It's their place. Cole, honestly, he picks and chooses which person he likes to bark at. He enjoys the truck. I wouldn't recommend anybody trying to go in the truck because that's his place.
Right.
But yeah, he doesn't always bark at people.
So if I'm going to stand on the window going, nice doggy, that's probably not a good idea?
If you look him right in the eye when he's staring out at the truck at you, he might growl at you, bark at you.
Okay. But he's not coming through that window.
He's not coming out, no.
Okay, all right.
That's up to me.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you taking time out. We know you guys are busy to talk to us about the dogs. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Cole.
Come on, buddy. There you go.
On the table? I'm not going to do that here. Well, thank you, Cole. And you have a good work day. Well, that wraps it up this episode for Tulip TV. We thank you for watching, and we'll hope you watch us again next week. Remember, you can follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and you can also write us an email. Oh, did you want to say something, Cole? Oh, yeah. Is it time to go to work? Well, we just wanted to remind you that we are independently produced, so if you would like to support us, please go to our website, www.TulipTV, and click on Donate. And we hope to see you again next week. Dag en tot ziens!
Thanks.